Podcast on the rise, feel the beat in your chest. Raw and Unplugged, only truth, nothing less. It's Raw and Unplugged Podcast. Welcome to the show.
Woohoo, what up?
What's going on? I'm Real Deal.
I'm DJ Fire.
And I'm just Meg.
And just the gym.
And
that's why
I wish I was. Yeah, I'll go to the gym, but yes, I'm just Meg. Say how.
No. You put Meg in front of a mirror, it spells out gym.
Gym.
Gym. But look, I want to say.
All that funny stuff.
It's Meg backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Because a gem is a gem, and it sparkles. Well, I want to say for everybody, for the graduates of 2026, a big congratulations from high school, from college, because it's a stepping stone. It's something like, I know people don't think about as from 9th grade to 12th grade, right? Because you're living the life. And from being a freshman to graduating in college, like it's a hard work and you're living the life. So I want to say people who put in the hard work, who stuck with it, a big congratulations. Now, my question to you two, how did it feel when you graduated from high school or college? What was your thought process? Was you scared, nervous? You had a question mark how life was going to treat you? What was your guys' mindset?
Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay. Well, for me, I didn't graduate high school. I actually got a GED. I was cutting class a lot, and I didn't get my credit, so I didn't walk. And I applied for college, and I need to have a diploma or a GED. So I took some classes. I went to see some tutors, and they got me through. I failed once for the math, but I got everything else, like English, social studies, all that, science. And then math, it was so hard. And so I had to take math twice and I passed it. And I felt so happy. Like, all right, I'm part of everybody that graduated. So I was happy about that.
So what was your thought process after you did it?
Accomplished. Like, I was very accomplished. Like, I did something. Like, I could do anything else, you know? I can graduate college now. Like, if I put my mind to it, I can do anything I want.
Was you nervous going to the real world? What they say, you
know? To be honest, I've been hearing that all the time. Like, the real world's going to kick your butt. And I just ignored it. Like, yeah, right. You know, whatever. And they'd be like, all right, you'll see. It's like, yeah, I'll see. But I saw. And he's right. Man, he can't get no writer.
I'm forgiving. So, what about you, Jim or Meg?
Yeah. I would say adulting right is very hard. It's not the one we all want to grow up really quickly, and when you get here, like, oh wow, this is where we're at. Huh? This is it. Well, in high school, people didn't expect me to graduate, but I was always at the top of my class, and I was my senior year. I ended up being class president. So I gave a graduation speech, and I can tell you that, yeah, I was nervous, very nervous, because I don't like to speak in front of people. Now I do, but I didn't like that then. So it was a good day. A lot of people around me, because I would have a teenage pregnancy. So my junior year, people just thought, oh, she's not going to graduate. She's just going to go off and be that, not finish there. So I was excited to graduate. I graduated with all my friends. And then college was a different story. I'm like a lifelong learner. I love college, but I like to switch things around. after I get really far in, and then I'm like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. So I've done college for like 25 years, 30 years, and so I have 2 degrees, but I'm like here and there and there. So yeah, it's that was my AA was probably my biggest accomplishment because I could not get English comp to go through. That was like my nemesis. But yeah.
Nice.
Was you nervous? Was
Yes.
you nervous when you graduated from AA or high school? Was you nervous? Just to see what the world was holding for Meg.
Like the high school, I was more excited from high school because I had a degree. I knew what college I was going to, and I knew what college I had a scholarship there, and I had all these things set up, like back in February. And so it was just like getting past that finish line. Like you have to for sure finish the finish line to get there. And so I was excited to be like, check it off, I'm done. It was kind of one of those things where I did a lot of working during high school, and so I just like came in, did a little classing, then went to work. So. I was ready for it to be over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Time out. I'm going to edit this part. Hey, Neil, I'm going to need you to put your phone to the side for me, please. Because it's going to mess it up. There you go. All right. Nice. Very nice, man. How about you, Neil? How about you?
You know what? When I graduated, I messed up. And I was supposed to graduate one year, and whatever happened, I had to graduate the following year. But I never was nervous. I didn't know what I was going to do. I did know once I left Georgia, I was going to pursue my dream, what I told you before. And once I moved to Maryland, I accomplished my dream. But in Georgia, it was like practice. It was like practice, yo. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I had my dream once I left Georgia, but it was just living. And it was a great blueprint what was in store for me in Maryland. So, was I nervous? Yes, because I had best friends, 2 particular best friends went to the military. And so it was kind of like a TV show. Who's going to take their place to keep the season going? And that was the being nervous. But besides that, I wasn't nervous.
Wow. What was it? That was that dream. What was the dream that you went to Maryland?
What was the dream?
Yeah.
For 8.5 years, I did stand-up comedy. And I always wanted to do it. And I hate to talk about it, but I end up doing it. I end up getting semi-paid. I end up growing with a few guys in Maryland. But in Georgia, I was a shy guy. So it was a development. And so you still don't know what your dreams are going to hold because some people don't experience it. And some people just like to talk about it. But when I moved to Maryland, I was like, aha. And I went to college and I didn't finish college because I thought of what I was raised about. You choose one or the other. Instead of choosing, you could choose both. You get me? But at the end of the day, it worked out, and I would never pass it up. It was a spectacular experience. And coming out of high school, I did think once I leave Georgia, I'm doing this shit.
Wow.
Out of high school, even though I was nervous because I think I worked at McDonald's in the country. I was raised in the country, so McDonald's, Wendy's, and I'm like, nah, this shit can't be it. This shit can't be it. And leaving was the best thing. And sometimes I feel like kids get scared of what's out there and they go off of comfortability instead of just saying, you know what, bump it, fuck it. I'm challenging myself to go to New York. I'm challenging myself to go to LA because that's wherever my dream's at. Because I feel like when you are sustainable and comfortable, that's the biggest obstacle in a person's life. You get me? And kids, I feel like college kids, kids out of high school, that's the best time to just hold two middle fingers up and just say, you know what, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, especially I think you have to surround yourself with people who are going in the same direction you are. When you're comfortable, those people, not everyone's around you is like, oh, I want to get up and change my whole life. And so it's easy to stay back there and not ever progress because it feels uncomfortable to leave your group. But I mean, surround yourself with people who are going the same way, like comedians, extra, people doing the same thing, want the same thing, or going, in the same direction, and you kind of go with them in a way, and it's
Right.
makes it more pleasant.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's the name of the game. If you, it was a guy I used to talk to. He was a friend, and we used to party a lot with a group, a big group. And he used to tell me, he told me, "Hey Neil, handle your business in comedy because these guys, when you come back, are just going to be doing the same thing." He pretty much saying they're going to be partying when you come back. So focus
Right.
on your dream. And he was right. I think I didn't talk to those guys or hang out with them for 6 months. And I would call them, not even talk about what I'm doing, but just keep in touch. And the guy was right. They were doing the same thing. And that's what your dream is, especially when you're young, is focus on your task. And I think people graduating from high school, graduating from college, I feel like if they keep that mindset, and you can keep the same friends, but you just got to be focused. Because if you get derailed off of focus, next thing you know, you're taking steps back.
Right.
Yeah, you got to be afraid to go outside your group to do what you're pursuing. Not everyone's gonna have the same dream in your group. I mean, if you look at all your friends in high school, like did they all say they wanted to be a comedian, or none of my friends wanted to be a lawyer. That's what I thought I wanted to do. I always thought I was gonna move to New York and be a lawyer and wear high heels. Everyone's like, where did you come up with this idea, this dream of yours? Because you live in a small town in the middle of Colorado. But I was like, I'm going. I don't care. I always kind of been that way. Like I have my thing. I'm gonna do my thing. You only get one
Right.
life. Make it the best.
Yeah.
You in high heels, hey, I'll get in trouble on purpose to have you as my lawyer. Just saying.
Okay, there you go.
Just saying.
I'll be a lawyer just so I can wear the high heels again. Yeah.
So what are you guys majoring in? Because for me, I was trying to be in business administrative and business management. What were you guys trying to go for in college or high school?
This could take
I
a
was
little bit
trying to be.
because I've done a couple.
Go
You
ahead,
done-
man.
What was your
Go ahead.
major one? Like your major one that you wanted to be?
Well, I'll just do two big ones. First one was I wanted to be a lawyer, so I did political science, and
Ooh.
so that was like a lot of government stuff. President, this, that, who always. I really was like, no, this is not for me. I want the lawyer. I want to be in New York. I want to have high heels, but I really just hate this what we're studying. But then, like my last degree, I studied digital forensics, so I could track hackers, figure out how they do what they're doing, do
Ooh.
investigations,
That's a great
testify
one.
at trials. Yeah, so that was my last degree.
That was your degree?
That was my last one. Yeah. First one I started out with was political science. So no, before I was doing this, like speaking and doing podcasting, is sharing my message that way, was going to be helping people like victims of digital stalking and like getting their cars hacked and their houses hacked and all those kind of things, and figuring out how to get the evidence against the person who's doing it against for them.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I could picture you being in that class. Like, hey, what kind of class you taking? Oh, okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
For Neil, I could see him just going for football. He's a football player. You know what I mean? He's one of those jocks.
I thought he was going to go for Jello wrestling.
Oh.
Yeah, wrestling. I like to wrestle gyms. But mine was psychology.
Ooh.
Psychology, I studied it, and I wanted to do like child psychology or just psychology because I don't know. Growing, I had an older brother, but we're 9 years apart, and it just, I don't know. I learned chess, and chess is a mental thing as a young one, and that got me into the human mind. And I know it doesn't make sense with chess and the mind, but it really got me into the human mind. I'm great with kids. So I thought about doing child psychology, but it was when I found out how much you had to go through it, and I did my study, I did my thing with it, but I was like, man, that's a long journey. So I didn't end up finishing it. But psychology was definitely my thing, and I still read about it here and there.
Yeah.
What about you?
That's good, man. For me, I was a class clown. I was a class clown. I always get kicked out of class just to make people laugh, and I'm not even doing it on purpose. I just, like one time I was in English class, and the teacher had a poster. It put boredom equals ignorance, and then like in the middle of the class, I'm like, I'm bored, and the teacher like, I'm still bored. Get out. Get out. Get your stuff out. And then he kicked me out. I got kicked out so many times, man.
So you wanted to be...
Go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It was different. It was a different story.
One at a time. One at a time, y'all.
Meg's about to tell a rebellious story of her. Oh! I can't wait.
I was a sleeper in class. I wasn't a class clown, but I was a sleeper and a protester. And I protested against dicing up the pig in biology, and I flat refused. Almost failed my class because of it. And then the other one was my math teacher, my calculus teacher. He was mean guy, and he would throw chalk at me. That's when they had chalk in the rooms at my head. When I'd fall asleep, he'd be like, "Wake up!" Yeah, and he had a good aim, so I got a lot of chalk throwing at me.
Oh,
damn!
She
was we got a protester with pigs. Muslims will love you, and we got a class clown.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great team. That's a great team.
What you think we are, a circus or something, man? And we got a football player, a linebacker, right? That.
Put your hands up, chalk to the forehead. Put your hands up.
Oh boy. But once again, congratulations to all the graduates of 2026.
Hey, and good luck on your future, guys. And hopefully everything works out, because that's what it's about. Just don't let the demons beat you.
That's right.
You get me?
That's right.
I know a couple graduates this year. They didn't graduate. They were supposed to graduate this year, or last weekend they were actually supposed to graduate. So for the graduates out there that didn't quite make it, or I'm getting ready to give up, it's not meant for me to be, keep going. It'll get better. Just keep going. Eventually get it. And especially if you're so close, or if you you're in the process, because once you get out in this adult world, it's a lot harder to go back into the college, environment and get through it. So take advantage of that fact that you're still young.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Well, nice word.